So karibuni once again. So if you're just joining us, we took a break, but we were talking about being registered on CRB. The laws governing all this, mobile lending apps, which I am just shocked to find out that we don't have any of these laws. But let's talk about CRB. Mesumbua watu wengi sana hapa. 90% of the callers here are saying, I'm on CRB. How do I get out of CRB?
Yeah. I think we're looking at this whole situation from a narrow pigeonhole, which is okay because that is the time that we have. I think the conversation is really, I can't say it enough, is really going back to the person borrowing the money. Okay. Okay. We always say maisha ni kujipanga. Ndio. So it's very clear that as a nation we have a culture that we don't talk about money. When growing up, what were you taught about money? In school, we are not taught about money unless you're going to be an accountant. So we really are, and I say this with a lot of love and respect, we really are ignorant about money matters. Wow. And we perish because of that ignorance. And that's why we are suffering. So the loan apps are not at fault. Yeah. What is at fault is that we lack the knowledge of how to manage money. And if you find yourself that you're in a place where you have borrowed, that's where you are. It is what it is. The key thing is, what should you do? So it's not a question of pointing fingers at the loan app or the CRB. It's a question of looking in the mirror and saying, this is the situation. What do I need to do to generate revenue to start pitching off at this thing? Because you see, when we start saying that mwisho mwezi imefika, utility bill ndio hiyo, rent ndio hiyo, it's like mwisho mwezi has happened upon us.
And we knew it was coming.
We knew it was coming. Yes. It's like a pregnant woman getting surprised at the 9th month. Yeah. There's something hurting me here.
I'm supposed to deliver.
I'm supposed to deliver. Did you know? No, I knew. So what did I do to prepare for it? So we know that we will need money, on, like I said, on this side of eternity to pay bills. Yes. And money flows through employment or self-employment. Well, we say there are no jobs, but everybody has some skill. Everybody has something. That's why my company is called Passion Profit. Right. Everybody has something that they can package and promote. We all have value that we can contribute. And when we contribute the value, we are compensated for this value. Right. And now we need to manage our lives by finding out how much value can I contribute and how much compensation can I get, and then create our money tracker. What I really call, at Passion Profit, we have something called the money quadrant. And the money quadrant is, you need to take track of how much money is coming in. And then you divide it into 4. The first 10%, if you're a Christian, goes to tithe. If you're not a Christian, it can go, you can give out, because the money philosophy of when you give, you will get receive back, all right? And then another 10% for yourself, jipigie pole. Because if you can't give to yourself, you're not going to give to others. No, but you will need money. You will need money for airtime, if you're a lady, for your hair, for your nails, for whatever. You need to groom yourself. You need to groom yourself. Right. So you have 10% for the world, 10% or tithe, 10% for you, and then we have 30% for doing good. Doing good account is for the funerals, the sina airtime, or nisaidie stima imekatwa. You have that 30%, and then 50% for essentials. Okay. Rent, utilities, your car, whatever it is that you do. And you see, when you start, it's going to look like this is such an uphill task. Everything is first hard before it becomes easy. Okay. But I think most of our problems is that we lack a plan, and we are not self-aware about how much money we need and how much money we should be spending and how we are going to generate that money. So it's not really the loan apps.
Kavua Musyoka, yes. When you borrow, have you ever, apart from your business, have you ever just borrowed that money because you need to pay rent, for example?
I have not borrowed it, so they say, without really needing it. Apart from, say, the one or twice I borrowed maybe for leisure, I have not gotten to that point where I really needed it and I borrowed it. Okay. Yes.
And what happened when you defaulted on this money?
I got listed on CRB. Yeah. And this is interesting because I borrowed. Yeah. At some point at night, I even don't remember me. So I'm like 15 months late, very many months later.
Yeah, maybe it was your wife that borrowed on your behalf.
No, that loan of amount X has grown to amount 15 what X. I'm like, which loan? Which amount? When did I borrow? I'm like, these guys, they're confused. It's not me. Yeah. And I brushed it off. until I got a call from auctioneers.
All right.
They're like,
Tunakuja.
Tunakam. We need that money. I'm like, dogani bana. Sinibisha lipa ba.
Yeah. So they actually send auctioneers.
They called them, auctioneers called me and they were like, we are going to come and repossess everything. So at this point, I was like, anything goes. You guys, you just give me a short time.
Yeah.
I will sort it out.
Yeah. And let me just ask, there's this something else you said, that you worked for one of these, mobile apps for a day.
Yes.
And you were the guy behind the phone call, calling and seeing. So you actually go through someone's contacts?
Everything.
Na mnaona manze Mbuvi, for example, Mbuvi upigia fulani sana. Na mnaanza kucontact huyo mtu.
You have everything. You have your phone book, contact messages, who you're texting, who you're texting a lot.
And all this information is legally acquired.
Yes, you sign the terms and conditions. So we have everything there. So naangalia naona okay.
Mbuvi ongea na fulani sana.
Mbuvi na baba yake sana. So you're not going to call his father. We're going to call Nani.
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Ama kuna kadem hapa hivi kanitwa Jennifer anaongeanga nako sana.
And the funny thing, the way you've saved the contacts, it's the same way
you guys see them on that other side.
But that side that.
Okay.
So I decided, I thought, hey man, I cannot live this life.
Yeah.
I do not want to be that person who is giving people stress. Unaangaliaga simu. Ni hao jamaa watala.
Yes.
Zima. Ni hao jamaa wa branch. Unazima. You even spam them. So I didn't want to be that guy who is.
So you quit because uliumia ndani ya roho.
Nilikumbuka short while back. I was
you're that person.
I don't know.
Okay. Sami.
Yes, please.
Imagine they have our contacts.
Yeah.
They have our contacts, and I'm sure people are actually just finding out, like, how did they get my dad's number? How did they get my wife's number, and so on and so forth? Is this legal?
It is legal, because you accept the terms and conditions. The terms and conditions have said it clearly, that if you fail to pay this loan on such a date, we shall contact A, B, C, D, E.
Okay.
So when you're clicking yes, I agree, you're agreeing to that term and condition. Legally, in accounting view, they're actually permitted to do that.
Okay.
Because there's risk involved with them giving you money. What we need to talk about now is, but for our company, what we do is debt restructure. We help companies and individuals do debt restructuring and debt management. What we need to talk about is, you are here, you've taken the loan, how do you now start moving back to square zero? Okay. Meaning, how do you start paying back your loan? We have different structures and strategies according to the industry and the personal level. Okay. For example, if you're a businessman, you're a retail trader, like him, you're borrowing, for example, to sort a client, to do something for a client. You are in this state. For example, you're actually CRB even listed. How do you start a journey to square zero? Yes. We depending on the nature of your business, we advise you on how you start paying this money little by little. Most of these companies, when you start paying them, when you show them that the agility of you and your corporation of paying, they actually loosen their hold on you. Even if it's CRB, you can negotiate with them not to take you to CRB. How do you negotiate with them not to take you to CRB when their time is due? This means you need to plan on how to start paying this loan. Even if it's a personal loan, maybe you borrowed for leisure, you borrowed for rent. How do you start paying? When you look at your income and expenditure levels, there's something you can save. You can start paying. You can actually tell yourself, this 100 bob I spend every day on airtime. Let me start paying this loan. At the end of the month, you'll pay 3 Gs, 3,000 bob. Yes. In 2 months, for example, if you had 6,000, when these money lending apps, even the bank, see that you have a commitment and initiative to pay, they will loosen their codes on you. Okay. Yes. So what do you do when you're in debt? You start the journey to square zero. Yeah.
But there are people who, and maybe Frida, this one goes to part of your coaching procedures. There are people who will borrow money with this line today. So I borrow 20,000. Then when I'm unable to pay, because I'm like, I change my line, get a new one, and borrow now, from a different line to, a different app and so on and so forth. First, what are the consequences? Because at the end of the day, I will find that I've gone through 5 numbers in 1 year, borrowed over 100,000, and I'm now running away literally from the law.
Consequences, stress, unnecessary stress. Because the thing is, I believe that life is what it is, all right? If you find yourself in a hole, don't dig deeper.
Yeah.
Start finding out how you can get out. And the good thing is that there's help today. Of course, when things are thick, we only see, you know, the darkness. But there's always light in that darkness. And I like what Sammy has said, that they help people restructure. Even if it is the auctioneer coming to you. Auctioneer ni mtu tu kama wewe na mimi. You can talk to them.
Yeah.
Once you start running and hiding, you will keep running and hiding. And for how long?
Yeah.
All right. So I think the wisdom that he has brought, that they have a process for restructuring. There are many other organizations out there that do that.
Do the same, yeah.
But I think the key thing is, as individuals, we need to start paying more attention. How much money do I need for my lifestyle? What are my options for generating income so that I can feed this lifestyle? What do I need to do? Because there's help available in terms of dealing with the debt. There's help available in terms of helping you figure out what can you do to generate the income that you need to do the things that you love and enjoy.
Yeah.
Because life is for living, Buvi.
Yeah.
It's not for running and hiding away from auctioneers.
When auctioneers called you, Kavua, will you do?
I answered, told them, first of all, you know, you have to act macho like this.
Unajifanya mande sitambui.
Mimi sitambui. Hiyo mimi ati what? Ati mtakam. Saa kujeni tu.
Mtanipata tu hapa.
Mtaniget tu hapa. Then you know, you at that point low like that thing. Nothing.
Yeah.
But it sank, and I nikaona yenyewe lazima nilipe hii shughuli ndio niweze kuendelea na biashara and all that.
So you actually went and found out how much you owe?
I thought, now that is when they called you, they tell you, by the way, I had borrowed 5,000.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, that loan has gotten to 12,000. I'm like, God, you guys, are you serious? 12,000? I thought I had borrowed 5. No, it's interest and all that had accumulated.
Yeah.
So I decided, so, I'll get your money, give me some time.
Okay.
I'll get the money, I'll pay, I clear. And since then, I would not even touch a mobile loan with a foot long nothing.
So they understood, that, just like she was saying, you know, at the end of the day, the person on the other side of that phone is a human being just like you and me.
True.
Yeah.
And I have I have a situation that I had, that's why I say that, because there's a time that I had taken a loan, I was still working, and I took an unsecured loan.
Okay.
And the job ended before 6 months.
Yeah.
And I had the loan for 48 months. I think the loan was for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to pay it. But I noticed when the auctioneers came, it's because that's why I'm saying that don't fear, don't run and hide. Because I was thinking, what am I going to do? I don't have the job. You know, I owe this money. What am I going to tell the bank? And then there's a friend of mine who's what do we call them? Debt manager, debt coach. I don't know what you call them. And they say that
basically they do what Sammy lawyer does here.
Absolutely.
Right.
So they say that go and talk to the bank. Of course, at first it was hard trying to, you know, persuade them, because I had been, you know, hiding. I was like, what am I going to do? What am I ever going to do?
Ignoring their calls.
They weren't calling me. That was now the scary part. By the
okay.
time they started calling, the first call was from the auctioneer. That's the truth. I was like, maybe they have forgotten. It's those ones of God has given me the freedom or something, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to deal with it. But I realized when I started thinking about it, I believe I attracted the auctioneer into my life, because that was the first call I got.
Okay.
It wasn't the bank, it was the auctioneer. And he said that, today we have found you. Okay, we're going to Nakuja. And I'm one of those kangumu. I said, Mukuje. Yeah, I said, Mukuje. I'm not hiding. I didn't try to ignore your call. I didn't say I don't owe the money.
Yes.
I have a situation. This loan was unsecured loan. These are my papers.
Right.
The job ended. All right. I'm a businesswoman. In fact, it was election year.
Yeah.
Election, look at how election is. So we had this back and forth, and then the bank agreed and we restructured it so that we start paying from there. But the thing I find, what I learned from that is that fear will put you in a dark hole, make you feel everything is ending. And even CRB are human beings like you and I. We get put, CRB is not necessarily bad. It is a measure. There's risk in lending somebody money. All right, the people who are going to lend us money need to know. Okay, the last time we borrowed, were we able to pay?
Yes.
So the key thing is, if you land in CRB, then clear up by paying off the loan.
Yes.
And getting out of it.
A certificate.
A certificate. But you see, the thing is, if you don't have a plan to generate income and live debt free or live within your means and do the things that you love and enjoy, then you're always going to look at these things as enemies or things that are against life. They're not really against life. They're just structures that have been put to help us manage our money, to help us manage what we need to do. But it all starts with me deciding what kind of lifestyle do I want
to lead,
and what am I going to do to manage that lifestyle without getting into all this other trouble.
Sami, there's something that we said off air that shocked me, literally. There are no laws governing this mobile lending apps.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not a single thing in the Constitution. Cap 62 of 39 verse 18. Nothing.
You know, the mobile lending apps actually operating like Shylocks. There's no law that governs Shylocks. There's a law that governs banks.
Right.
There's a law that governs credit societies. There's a law that governs circles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even CBK,
the mobile lending apps are not into these circles. So I believe, and actually I told you before, I believe the time is coming very, very soon that these mobile lending apps are going to be pushed either to register as circles or as credit bureaus, whereby they can be monitored and actually curbed. Because at the moment we don't have laws. We don't have laws to monitor a Shylock. These mobile lending apps are just Shylocks. You don't have laws to curb Shylocks. You don't have them anymore.
Absolutely. And I mean, so do we have any probably long-term implications for this situation? Because if there are no laws, if we cannot call this app a bank, we can't call it a SACCO, we can't call it a chama, we can literally not define it. Isn't that dangerous ground?
It's a dangerous ground, both ways, even to those who are lending. But you see the space we have, like I told you before, we have time and we have need. Whoever catches into this market either gets out with the money or profit. So for the lenders, it's profit. For you, is money that you need. So what you're having here is the terms and conditions is where they have their law to follow you. But in the rating, in the Constitution, we don't have yet a law, and even the CBK doesn't have a regulatory framework for these mobile lending apps. So I believe in coming few days, you're going to have a regulatory framework for them, so that they either register as credit societies, as SACCOs, or as any other thing which will be regulated.
Because these guys have mad cash, for lack of a better word.
It's bad.
And
the bad
it's
thing,
bad. You've been there. I can even feel. I can feel the emotion.
It is bad. You know, the bad thing about it is that since there is no regulation, there is no laws governing it, and how people are now. People do not have money. The youth are desperate. I will say, I started by saying that it is a good thing that we have access to loans and finance without collateral. But even look at how they are targeting and how they are advertising and how they are hooking you inside. It is all psychology, which is very bad. They are hooking you slowly and easily, pole to you get yourself inside there with the crazy.
You get yourself, watch out.
You get yourself
with
the crazy interest. Imagine.
You don't get yourself in there. When hauna much unaenda to tumefika.
You get yourself there because imagine.
I'm just making fun. But I think we really need to be more conscious about what we share, especially now we're on media and lots of people are hearing us. I think we have a great opportunity to get people to start thinking about the money conversations they have. At home, we never used to talk about money. You could just sense whether there's money or not, the way your mom behaved and the way your dad behaved at the end of the month and those kinds of things. But I think we have an opportunity to start financial literacy right in school, in our homes, when we're giving our children pocket money, helping them manage it, and having conversations, having conversations around that, because we are not. And then now we blame the loan apps. The loan apps people, it's a business idea. They know there is no money. They know interest cap. They know government doesn't have something for the youth. Okay, I'm going to be very careful how I say that. The youth don't have jobs. There's lots of them being churned out every time, after university, and there's no jobs for them. So we should look at what other options are there, because the loan app person said there's no money, nitamwaga money. All right. So what are we saying apart from pointing fingers at the loan apps? How can we come up with programs to help people get more financial literate? How can we come up with other financial solutions, because the government is not giving us money? And
I will hold that thought there for a minute, because Shiko is joining us on our touch screen. Shiko, what are people saying as far as this mobile lending is concerned?
Well, let's find out very quickly. Frida goes on to say, loan apps is a scam. I stopped using them. Clearly a very bad experience, right?
It's not our Frida. It's not different Frida.
That's interesting.
Lucia Muli goes on to say that, no, it's because of them I am blacklisted. They have no patience. Absolutely. All right, pole sana for that, Lucia. Let's see if we can get another one real quick. Wakiant Wanyambura goes on to say, niko na deni, all loan apps na siringi na sina pesa ya kuwalipa. Iyo pesa imelainiwa. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Ichimuntu, long time no see. Asante sana for your feedback. I don't use the loan apps. I decided to work hard and live within my means. People get a loan but use it for its intent. I get surprised people get loans to do a wedding. I'm like, please, discipline yourselves, people. A loan is not forced on you. All right, sawa sawa, Ichimuntu. Let's see if we can get another one very quickly. Kandia Eva goes on to say that mobile loan apps is the reason why most young people will not be able to access financial support for greater courses in future from accredited creditors such as banks and SACCOs due to destroyed credit. Absolutely, I actually have to agree with that. And then Deno Flyover goes on to say, watching live and internal Mentera from Tenan, loving the discussion. All right. Some old Latin music for you.
Okay.
English.
So clearly, he was just enjoying the conversation. I hope he has not taken a loan. Thank you very much, Chico, for that. Looking at the situation as it is right now, I'll probably now give you guys a few minutes to close up on this. Yeah. Starting with you, Sami. Yeah. People are borrowing money. They're getting depressed, you know, some of them borrowing for the wrong reasons. Imefika mahali sasa tumeanza kukua depressed as a country. Watu wanataka kujiua because ya hizi mobile apps. Kuna wenye wamejiua tayari. What in your opinion, since you're a techie, what are we going to do about these apps?
For me, I believe I start with the person. Like Frida said before, what are you borrowing for? If it is business, you need to look at what are you borrowing to finance your operations? E.g., are you borrowing to pay salaries? Are you borrowing to increase your infrastructure? So that in future, you'll have money to repay back your loan. You need to look at these two things significantly. As a person, are you borrowing for leisure? Or are you borrowing to cater for a need, a necessity that has arisen emergently now, but can be taken care of in future? So I believe it's about a person's own intent for credit. Your intent for credit should be mature and actually well advised within your own means. And you need to look at your income. The income that you have, will it be able to support payments of your loan? If you're in debt already and you're in credit already, you need to start looking of ways to start paying back and actually make things back to square zero. Back to square zero means, number one, you talk to these creditors, the loan apps, talk to them about your situation and have a plan of repaying your loans. If you run away, it's not going to change anything. It will not change anything at all. Running away actually makes things worse for you. Because you accepted the terms and conditions whereby interest is continually being charged on your overriding amount. But when you start paying the loan bit by bit, it doesn't have to be everything. That's why we actually come up to restructure debt for both companies and individuals and individual businessmen and women. So that now you start paying this loan, you reduce your interest. At some level, even at some points, we come back and we come and negotiate with your bank or your lender to cap the interest and make the interest stagnant. Because you've begun your payment process. So I believe even if you're in debt, it's something that you can come out of. It's a step at a time. It's a journey. And the journey, when you begin it, you'll definitely end it. You don't have to pay 12 months every month, as you said, but when you show intent and actually commitment to clearing your debt, that is the first step to clearing your burden.
Kavu, have you borrowed ever since after auctioneers?
My advice would be run. 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 Do not. Do not. If you can avoid those loans,
Yeah.
please do avoid them at all costs. I'd rather you call your friend, your family, anybody. I have borrowed money from you, Mungala.
Yeah.
You have borrowed. We have
borrowed each other.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Even Kenya has loans for the Chinese, but run away from those loans. If you can.
You'd rather borrow me than borrow these
the loan,
people.
yes, anytime.
Mimi sitakutumia auctioneers. Mimi ndakuja tu kuishi na wewe.
Yes.
Juu kama ukichukua pesa yangu na sisi lipa rent, itabidi tumeishi pamoja. So but as a businessman, do you have other alternatives, sources of money now? Because at the end of the day, when you want to expand, obviously, if you do not have the money from your own profits, you need to tap into somewhere.
I still borrow from the same apps, but I am more careful now. I learned my lessons.
Okay.
I learned my lessons. Yes. Just do not borrow for the sake of borrowing. Do not just download the app because you saw the advert somewhere, you feel you like it. No, do not.
Okay. Frida,
yes, sir.
You will give us the closing remarks before we get our contacts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It has been a really nice conversation.
Right.
There are two things I'd say. That one, people perish for lack of two things. They perish for lack of knowledge and they perish for lack of vision. So we need to become self-aware about who we are and who are we becoming and how much money do we need for who we are and who we are becoming. And having a vision. What is the clear mental image of a preferable future we want to create? Because that is what now starts getting us to contribute value.
Right.
And every time we contribute value, we are compensated. Because what goes round comes around. So instead of blaming others, let's look in the mirror and find out how much money do I need? What am I willing to do to generate that income? And get a vision of how I'll contribute this value so I am compensated and I can live the life I love and enjoy.
How can we get in touch with you for that business coaching?
PassionProfitBrands.com.
Okay.
You can get me on Facebook, Passion Profit Brands, Frida Owinga, on Twitter, and wherever else you get people on social media.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Sami, how can we get to you now that we need to start repaying these loans for that advice and more coaching?
On Facebook, it's Akmak Global Consultants, Finance. On Twitter, the same.
Okay.
Our offices are industrial area, Enterprise Road.
Okay.
SK Business Park. You come there. My numbers 0795 691468. You can reach me via call. We can sit down, discuss, and move forward.
All right. Tukitaka kununua vitu zako ndio usiende kukopa tena tukupate wapi?
If you're looking for curtains and throw pillows and all that stuff, interior anything, we have a Facebook page, Trim Interiors.
Okay.
And if you want a chef or a caterer for your event, you can also contact us. Contacts on Trim Interior.
All right.
Yes. And you can also give them that.
Nitawapatia namba yako. Yeah. And please buy stuff from Kavua Musyoka. Ndio asiende kukopa pesa asikujue na auctioneers. Meanwhile,
yes, we are definitely going to support him.
Yeah. Ni wakati wa kusema kwa heri, guys.
Okay, of course, it's time to say bye. By interesting stories right there. In fact, just quickly, when Kavo was saying that he worked for one of the mobile loan apps, I was thinking that he said he probably went through the list and saw his name. Yeah. He was about to call himself.
He was supposed to call himself.
That would have been really interesting right there. It's time for us to say bye-bye.
Yeah.
Of course, we are done for the day. But please keep on interacting with us at K24 TV. As far as K24 this morning is concerned, I guess it's bye-bye, guys.
Absolutely.
It is. Kwa heri. See you tomorrow.
All right, the Daily Brief is up next.